There is a quote that says, "Little girls with dreams grow up to be women with a vision." That certainly holds true for Maine's own Meg Doherty. She grew up in Steep Falls, about an hour northwest of Portland, and always knew she was destined for something big. As Samantha learned, all that dreaming would eventually lead Meg to her greatest achievements yet.
How to maintain my energy on a 2-show day.
When she's not pulling back the curtain on the ins and outs of Broadway.
Literally the most important thing to me is sleep.
Meg Doherty is getting herself ready for curtain call.
I'm really try hard not to take it for granted because it's just so magical and I'm so grateful.
Meg made her Broadway debut in 2020, joining the cast of Wicked. The musical phenomenon explores the backstory of The Wizard of Oz and has been a staple of New York City's Gershwin Theater since 2003. Meg is part of the ensemble and is the understudy for the musical's villain, Madame Morrible.
She is very fun to play. I love getting to play villains. They're so fun.
Meg's love for musical theater can be traced all the way back to her childhood. She grew up performing on stages like Schoolhouse Arts Center in Standish and knew very quickly the theater was where she belonged.
When I was little, I used to sing to anyone who would listen to me. It just sort of was like in my blood to be creative and to be artistic. And then on top of it, it was like exploding out of me.
That love for performing is what helped to propel her to the Big Apple. And now she's sharing her talent with the world.
I ended up getting a text message from a friend of mine saying, "Hey, are you around? Because there's a track that you're right for in Wicked." He brought me in for an audition, and then 6 months later, they called and they were like, "Great, you start on Tuesday."
What went through your mind when you found out that it was like, okay, we're not doing demos. This is like the real deal that we're working on now?
It was just like, okay, this is what you've been preparing for your entire life. And that's sort of how I feel every single time I've ended up in these spaces.
Meg is one of just 24 people whose voices can be heard throughout ensemble songs in the movie.
Dear Galinda, you are just too good. How do you stand it? I don't think I could.
It's a really, really small number. And it's incredible how they can work that to make it sound like a huge, huge, enormous crowd.
Let me tell you the whole story.
Part 1 premiered in November of 2024 and features stars like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Come with me. What? To meet the wizard.
Meg says the entire experience was like nothing she had ever done before.
It was like hyper focused, and then it was just so magical to be a part of the movie making experience.
When you were recording, was it like grueling, like 55-hour days, or were you just there for like 6 hours at a time? Like, what did that look like?
So I would say grueling is like 6 to 8 hours in a recording studio because you are going full out the entire time, and to sing full out for 6 hours is hard. You get to see what's happening on screen as you're singing so that you can see the way that the dancers are moving to help give the appropriate vocal energy to it. So that was really cool. And I didn't realize we were going to be able to see that when we were recording. And I was like, oh, what? Oh my gosh. Okay. But when we did the big recording, we did everything for movie 1 in 2 days. And that was it. It was intense. It was intense.
Are you kidding me?
There. Yeah, 2 days and that was it.
Did you ever get to meet like Ariana and Cynthia and any of like the big names? Did they ever get to like come in and say thank you for laying down all the tracks for their movie?
We, the very first day that we were there actually recording, Stephen Aremus got a call from Ariana because she had questions about something. And then he put her on speakerphone and she was like, "Hi." So that was kind of exciting, but they were mostly over in the UK and weren't ever in the New York City recording studios. But I will say that one time that we went to go lay down some of the demos on something, Idina and Kristen Chenoweth came out. And so we got to like sit and hang with them for a little bit in the lobby. They had just laid down their vocals and they were on their way to go shoot their part in the movie. That was a really, really cool moment as well.
For other theater kids in Maine that are going to watch the story and go, oh my gosh, she's from Steep Falls and now she's doing all this. Like, I guess, what advice do you have for them?
Being in a schoolhouse in Maine performing and being on Broadway, a lot of the times just the budget. They have the money to be able to hire the best of the best. Maybe there's going to be other people who can sing higher or can kick higher or do other things that maybe you can't do, but you can always outwork them because there's lots of people who are really talented, but not everybody wants to work really hard. If you are someone who is meant to be an artist and you're meant to make art, then you're going to do that. And it doesn't matter where you live. You don't have to live in New York City to be an artist. You can be an artist wherever, and everywhere deserves to have art.